Family, good evening, good evening. Come on in, come on in. Let us
Happy
know
Friday.
where you're streaming from. Come on in, come on in. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No, it's
off.
all right. You can cut me off anytime you want to cut me off. Just cut me off. You know I'm glad. Come on in, y'all. Let us know where you're streaming from. Let us know where you're streaming from. It is an awesome Friday.
It is.
The Friday before Father's Day.
Father's Day. We need to celebrate those fathers. The
Now,
ones that are fathers.
that's the proper context. You know, it's funny. I listened to a comedian today, and he said the number one celebrated day was Christmas. Number two was Mother's Day.
Right.
And Father's Day was like 20-something.
Wow.
Now, what is it? I want to ask y'all a question. Why is celebrating fatherhood such a hard or has such negative connotations? Now, I could understand that we have some deficiencies in fatherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally understanding that my father wasn't necessarily the best father.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that a mother's more inclined to stay with a child.
Right. Not that all moms do, but for the most part.
For the most part.
Your mom is ride or die. Your
mom is ride or die.
Yeah.
So therefore.
Mama's baby, daddy's baby.
That's such a horrible statement.
It is.
I don't know where they got that statement from. Daddy's
maybe. My grandmother used to say that.
Really?
Yes, she did.
Wow, that's such a just.
Makes you think, huh?
I don't know how they received that one.
I think they received it the way she needed it to be received, because we found out later on that some of her kids that thought so-and-so was their father was not their father.
Really?
Yes, some of my uncle. Well,
wow.
Let me just not even.
Yeah, you might have that's a slippery slope. I need a baby daddy.
Whoa. Okay.
Wow.
But I think that it is I think that that's a representation of the breakdown of the family.
Absolutely.
The family structure itself, and how much we have normalized, not having a traditional family with a mother and father in the household. And I'm not saying that if you had a father figure in the household that was not your biological father, that was not your father. That is your father. Whoever raised you and treated you like their own, that's your father. Just like every mother didn't birth their child, but that doesn't make them any less of a mom.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think we should celebrate the fathers. I mean, celebrate those men that are mentoring our future generation. And yeah, we're going to celebrate early tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some surprises.
Oh, I like surprises.
Mm-hmm.
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 Well, we're going to continue our topics in reference to poor communication. I think we have 25 topics or 25 areas in which it identifies that you are a poor communicator.
Right.
By the way, my name is Jomo.
I'm Charmaine.
We come together on Friday nights and we give you real, raw, and relevant conversation that pertains to relationships.
Right.
And one of the key aspects of relationships that people struggle with is communication.
Mm-hmm.
So last week and this week, if you didn't hear last week, go back to our YouTube page, Jomo and Charmaine. Mm-hmm. If you have not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe. And you can listen to that video from the past, and really help you, because our whole goal is for us to be better communicators. One of the key things we spoke about last week is communication has not completed until both have the same understanding of what was said and what was received. You have not fully communicated until the message you spoke is the same message they received, and you have mutual agreement.
Right. I don't know if we have mutual agreement on everything, but...
No, you don't, because you don't be listening.
Oh, I just don't agree.
No, you don't be listening.
I don't agree with everything.
You know when you tell somebody, I want to do this, you know what I'm saying? I want to do this, and they go to sleep. Is that listening?
Are you talking about sex? Talking about sex?
I'm just asking I'm asking the audience a question. Don't take this like a bullet towards you. I'm just asking.
I'm asking for you to be
I'm
more
asking
specific.
the question. When a person says something to you and you don't undress yourself, does that mean they ignored you? I'm just asking a question. I'm asking a question.
What, I fell asleep?
No.
Let's just be 100. I mean, put it out there. You know, this is what I want to just address this whole thing.
I'm not talking about anything this week or last week. I'm just making a general question for our audience to answer.
He's talking about something. I want to address this passive aggressive.
There's no passive aggressive.
It's passive aggressive. You know, and you see it on Facebook and Instagram all the time. People be giving you the subliminal messages. You know, I hate when people don't be talking about you, but they be talking about. And I'm thinking, just say the person's name so we can all address it together. Do you know what I'm saying? If you talk about me, just say Charmaine didn't do X, Y, Z.
No, I'm not saying that.
Or whatever.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying when you don't, you mention sex, and I just
no. I'm not even talking about you in general. I'm just talking about just in general. I see on Facebook and Instagram all the time, and I'm thinking, I don't try to give people subliminal messages on social media platforms. If you have something to say to somebody, just say it to them. Call them up. The Bible says,
say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest up. Say it with your chest.
The Bible says if you have an ought with your brother, go to your brother.
That's
talk to them.
That's the Bible.
And the thing is we want to give these passive aggressive, like you even see men talking to their spouses on social media because like they may be in an argument. So then they'll find a quote that goes with how they're thinking, even if it may not be biblical, but it just makes them feel better to put it out there. And then you got their friends saying, amen, you right about that, that's 100.
Is that like talking through your children?
Yes.
Tell your mom.
No, not really.
Okay.
It's because you're telling them exactly what you want them to, versus like you pulling a quote from Maya Angelou. Like you'd be like, oh, well, if a person shows you who they are, believe them. And you're like, okay, your wife made a mistake. She said she was sorry. You didn't accept the apology, you know, and now you're going to put quotes out by Maya Angelou on Facebook. You know, just come on, dude. Say what you got to say. Put your wife's name on it. Don't be a punk.
Ooh.
Don't be a punk. If you have something to say to me, just say it to me. Don't put my name on the post. Charmaine, I don't like you because X, Y, Z. Don't be giving me no subliminal message. I don't want to try to figure it out. I don't want to decode it. I'm not in the matrix. You say what you have to say and be done with it. And we do it in marriage too, all the time.
True.
That's why I was asking you directly, because I know if anybody will tell me the truth, this one right here will be 100. So that's why I was asking you if you were talking about me.
No.
Because if he was, he would have said y'all.
What it is sometimes people don't get what they expect.
Right.
They communicate something, but if it doesn't happen, they question that the person hear them.
Right, or understand.
That's my whole point.
Right.
If you don't have a corresponding action, you assume a person didn't hear you.
But I know that
I know you hear me, because even when you say, you know what, or something don't happen, it will happen within a short period of time.
Right.
So I know you heard me. Yeah. You clean up. So you clean up real well. No, but you have to.
Yeah.
Because then if there is no corresponding action, you have to believe the person didn't hear you.
But I do notice that it's not the same enthusiasm. I'm talking about when it comes to sex.
Okay.
Like, especially like if you're a married couple, let's say your husband is in the mood at 9:00 that night. And you say, I'm really not in the mood. I'm going to wait until tomorrow morning. You ready to go tomorrow morning. You are ready. And you know what I'm talking about. You ready to go. You know that enthusiasm. Now you got to go to work to get this brother like excited like you are to get the job done. And it's like, okay, if I would have just went along with the program at 9:00 last night.
You are preaching a word. This is the Lord you're speaking. This isn't right now.
But this is real though, because I was like, dog, you know, he was all excited before, but I was exhausted. You know what I'm saying? But I should have just gone and, you know, like when you have to do something for your kids, you find some energy.
Oh,
you find some energy. You gotta take them to Little League football.
Find the energy.
Baseball.
Oh.
You gonna drink that coffee.
What?
You gonna talk to yourself in the mirror. Okay,
I found
girl,
that
get
too.
It together. Get it together.
Coffee increases your excitement level.
Libido?
Mm-hmm. I texted to you.
I bet y'all be good to Starbucks today. Your husband be asking, is Starbucks still open, boo?
Do you need some coffee? Do you need some coffee?
You'll find some energy for the things you want to find energy for. So I got convicted about that, because I do, like, you know, if I'm tired, I'll make it up. but it won't be at the same time. Anyway. Am I saying too much?
I think you said a lot.
I said a lot.
You called some people some punks. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's talking to, but she called you a punk.
I think, we shouldn't avoid. I mean, it's a way to say things and communicate where you can receive. And what I've learned too is when I have to deal with the tough issues in communication, that if I pray and ask God to give me the right words, He gives me a humble spirit about it and gives me respectful words to use where my husband can receive them in a way that doesn't put his guard up or make him feel defensive.
That's good.
Whereas if I don't pray first and I don't really think about my words and be considerate, then it does tend to come out harsh and sometimes immature. I would say immature.
It's funny. I was listening to another article today or reading that in a fit of rage, it takes 7 hours for your body to bring back what you lost.
Wow.
It says cortisol, all these things start activating your body.
Right.
And it takes 7 hours to get back. He says, so it doesn't even make sense to allow yourself to get to that level of anger.
Right.
He said, because you end up increasing stress things in your body.
Right.
And eventually that will kill you.
Right.
Versus having a just chill flow.
Right.
And I was like, wow, we don't even realize
I'm
all.
Curious though, in that same thought,
Mm-hmm.
how much more calm and level-headed people are when they pray and meditate in the morning to start their day.
Gotta be a huge number.
The Bible says we should meditate on the word night and day. I mean, a lot of people don't associate meditation with a spiritual act, but it really is.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to meditate and pray in the morning because it really sets your day up. It sets you up for success.
Correct.
It really does. And if you don't know, Jomo has a prayer line Monday through Friday at 6:30 in the morning.
In the morning. Yes.
Monday through
All
Friday.
right. We're going to jump back in.
All right.
Last week, we stopped off with stop mind reading.
Yes.
And we do it all the time, and it should not be done. And we think for other people, and we think we know what they're about to say. And
right. And you cut them off.
You cut them off, and we have to be very disciplined to really be slow, to understand, hear what they're trying to say, and not assume. Or it has another good word. My friend, a good friend of mine would say, assume positive intent. Don't always go to the negative or the absolute worst thing in your mind without even listening. You take yourself to. He left, he did this, he got 15 babies on the street, he killed somebody, and he's just trying to talk. You just take your mind there. And so many times, if you have have baggage or a tough past, you always think the worst.
It's good stuff.
Next one.
Asking
for permission. Is this a good time to talk?
Right. Or is it okay if we, or if I... Is it okay if I? Another good example is, can I? How do you feel about me? ...
Yeah.
When you are engaging someone and you ask them a question, it allows them to be a part of the conversation.
Versus just telling them.
Right.
And also asking questions has them fish. They may come to the conclusion on their own, which is the best.
It is.
I've learned that I cannot really tell my wife what she needs to discover. Meaning, when she discovers it for herself, she owns it. When I try to tell her, it doesn't work out as good as when she like anybody else. When you experience for yourself and you feel it and it makes sense to you, you got it forever. Right. Versus the person trying to tell you what's going to happen. No, sometimes... allow life to reveal. We've all spoken to our husband and wife and said something to them and they didn't receive it that moment. And then like 15 minutes later, somebody else says, oh, Eureka. No, it's just sometimes we don't receive like we need to receive, and therefore it doesn't work out in the best manner.
That's good stuff.
Oh, you had mentioned this.
I just mentioned it.
Yeah. Harsh words.
Yeah.
The Bible says, a soft answer. Soft. Harsh words stir up wrath.
Right.
So when you go harsh, expect harsh coming back.
Right.
You reap what you sow.
You reap what you sow.
So you have to, like James 1:19 says, be slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to wrath, slow down.
And I think as adults, we know when someone has like pricked a nerve or triggered us in some way. Sometimes it's best not to even respond and say, I really don't feel like I can respond right now. I mean, it would be better to communicate that I'm really upset right now and I can't respond versus you responding in a way that is not going to reap any benefits or any positive outcomes. Yeah.
The next one we got to think about is dishonesty. OMG. You want to mess up some communication? Lie.
Yeah, because then that taps into trust.
And
now they can't trust the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, I do not like lies.
And a lie is a lie is a lie.
Ain't no little lie, big lie.
White lie.
Correct. Did you leave? Did you buy that?
Right.
How much did it cost?
You omitted something.
Yeah. How much that cost?
Well, you didn't quite ask me that part. Come on, dude.
What time did you leave her house?
Exactly.
What time are you going to get home?
Right.
Where you at right now? Who you talking to?
Right. And if you have a Tesla, you just go on the app and you're like, where you said you was at? Because your car is at.
How do you know that, Charmaine?
Because it's an app that we both have.
So therefore, we always know where each other at.
Yeah, we do.
Well, at least we know the car at. We don't know if we're in the car.
Well, if the car is driving, then hopefully you're driving your car.
That is true. That is true. So honesty is the bedrock foundation, and we have to make sure if we're going to communicate with honesty, because once you lose honesty, you lose trust, and once you lose trust, communication breaks down.
It's hard, and it has to be regained, and that takes time.
Next one,
avoidance.
Just ignore it, and it will go away.
It will never go away unless you address it. You have to address it. You have to work through it. You have to process it. Both of you all have to learn how to manage it. Whatever it is, it has to be dealt with one way or the other.
You'll never change what you don't confront. Love confronts and love comforts. Love confronts and love comforts.
Right.
So don't be discouraged. I don't like confrontation. I really don't. But I know it's going to bother me if I don't say something. And I'd rather just tell her, because if I'm going to be with this chick for another 50 years, I want to make sure that she heard me. And I don't want to be frustrated with stuff I don't like. And I'm not saying in general, I see stuff, I want to fix it.
Right.
And sometimes it don't work out the way I planned, but I try to fix it, in regards in every aspect of life. If we could fix it and expedite our future, I think it makes sense to me.
It's good. All right.
Why do people avoid stuff anyway, Charmaine?
I think just not wanting to avoid conflict, not wanting to argue. What is another reason to avoid communicating?
Some people feel like that they can't express themselves properly.
They get nervous.
Some avoid. I think the number one thing is confrontation, fear.
Fear of how they're going to respond.
Fear of how they respond. Fear of loss.
Yeah.
That if I tell a person the truth, they're going to leave me.
Yeah.
But mostly fear.
Right.
All right. The next one. Unrealistic expectations. Lord have mercy. This evening, we're going to go to Ruth Chris.
Right. And
they have some of the best steaks in the world. And they're going to ask us, how do you want your steak?
Right.
And what would you say, Charmaine?
I would say medium.
Well, I say, Charmaine,
well done.
So guess what happens? If they bring me out a steak that's still talking,
still mooing,
blood everywhere, I'm going to ask them to take it back.
Right.
Because I didn't get what I expected. And so many times in relationships, we are not getting what we expected. And when we don't get what we expect, we feel we want to send it back.
I think as it pertains to communication, we have in our minds how a person is going to respond when we tell them a certain thing already. So we can kind of prepare ourselves for the response and to have a response back, right? And it's almost like a playbook in your head of what's going to happen. And then when it doesn't happen like that. So for example, if a couple is they're dating, right? And they've been dating for 3 years, they've talked about marriage, they looked at rings, you've met the parents, if there's children involved, you've met the children already. You feel like you're at a place where it's time for you to propose. You get all the friends and family together. You get down on one knee, you ask the question, and she's looking at you like, what are you doing? It's not what you expected. And now you don't know what to do. And sometimes people respond in a negative way. Sometimes people respond in a negative way when they have an expectation of how someone's going to respond after you communicate to them. And it doesn't happen that way.
Totally.
Right.
That gotta be rough.
Yeah, it happens.
I know.
Or, the woman will say yes just so that person doesn't get embarrassed. And then later on, they're like, I really don't think it's time for us to get married.
Wow.
And then they say, but you just said yes. I don't want to embarrass you, though.
Wow. Rough.
I don't know why that came up just now. But anyway.
That's all good.
So, yeah.
The next one. Making someone responsible for your happiness.
You'll lose everything.
You better own your own happiness.
That's right.
People can't make you happy. Especially some people who get in relationships thinking the other person will bring them happiness or joy. Joy is based on a relationship with God.
That's it.
And happiness is based on what's happening at the present time. So we have an ebb and flow of a marriage of happy, not happy, happy, not happy. And you have to understand you have to be more grown than happy.
Yeah.
Marriage is never about you being happy. It's nice.
Right.
When it happens.
When it happens,
but
that's good.
There's seasons where, I ain't feeling you right now, but I will feel you soon.
Right.
It's a process. Maturity.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, the next one, not saying the good stuff out loud. I'm sometimes not the best at this. I'm working to be better, meaning we could be critical loud, but quiet with the positives. So if you're going to say something of a critique nature, make sure you're loud with all the positive things.
You're balancing it out.
And it shouldn't be balanced. Right. It should be heavily on the positive.
Right.
If you want to say something that's critical, cool, you said it. But how many I love you and you find? Like, I'm always saying positive things about her. Right. Okay. I do say some negative
things. Being appreciative of the things that they do. And what I think both of us have learned in marriage is, or just in our relationship in general, if we see each other doing something that we like, we acknowledge it. Because if you don't acknowledge it, then they don't know that that's something that you appreciate. And they'll stop doing it. Because I know I stopped doing some things that wasn't acknowledged. And then I may have done it randomly like years later and be like, I really like that. Why did you stop doing that? I'm thinking, I did it for 10 years. You didn't say nothing. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to do things if you don't appreciate it, because it's not something that I have to do. Like for me, I was doing it for you. Right. And we don't know what each other likes until we communicate those things. So sometimes I even ask the question now. Like we've been eating salads for the last 2 weeks, kind of. 6, 7 days. It feels like 2 weeks. Anyway, I've been making his salad the way I like my salad. So I think it was last night. He was like, "Man, you really do like olives." And I think I rolled my eyes. You were like, "It's not a big deal." And I was thinking, you're saying that because you don't want as many olives in your salad. So then I asked him, what are the things that you like on your salad? So that way, because I think I cut basil up and put in the salad too. Because I was trying to go healthy.
She switched it up on me. It was like 4 or 5 days of consistency. And all of a sudden, I started salad. I
got bored.
This don't taste like the ones you've been making. So I said, what you do different?
So bored.
So she put some basil and a little bit more kale. And y'all know kale is strong as all get out. Kale will kick in the face. I
didn't feel like it was strong. But see, we have different taste buds. Yeah, I know that. And I feel like crunchy cheese.
Crunchy cheese. She tried to flip it up on me. Yeah. Now, I ate most of it.
Yeah, you
about 98%. I ate more than shit. Yeah. I ate more. I'm not going to complain. But if you want to ask me.
I was full when I stopped eating.
Yeah, so
I said I was not going to, because I was thinking, oh, well, it's salad, so I should just go and just eat all of it. But I really can't eat that much in one sitting. Like, I'm not a big plate eater. I eat smaller portions. But yeah, I didn't like the basil either. But he was like, it's a funny taste.
it's like, what's
I wasn't even gonna tell him, y'all. I was just gonna let him just eat it and be like, whatever. He thought it was a kale. It was actually, I shredded some basil and put in it because I was reading some recipes from like chefs, restaurants that chefs make these, you know, gourmet salads, whatever. And they said it's always nice to put like a fresh herb in your salad. It like takes your salad to the next level. Well, I guess I put too much basil in because I cut the whole little bunch of basil and I just shredded it. And I put it on the top part of the salad. You could smell it. It was very aromatic. Is that
strong?
Yeah, but it was just like, so Indian friend of mine was saying that I should have put the basil, like shredded it and then put it in some olive oil and then drizzled the olive oil over the lettuce, and then that way the olive oil is infused with whatever herb that you want to put.
I ate it.
You did.
Ate all of it.
He was thinking it was a kale, but it was really the
I was like, but you know, again, you should be able to speak the truth in love, not get offended.
And I agreed. Yeah. Not
get offended and move on.
Right.
You know, I appreciate the salad. Don't stop making salads. I need to, you know, I'm working on something. I want salads for dinner every night. You know, barring a change. And I think one night we had chicken and broccoli. Broccoli. Is it broccoli?
No, it's broccolini.
Well, broccolini. It was good though. But, you know, I appreciate it. And I'll tell her every time she makes something, man, this is great. I love you. Thank you. Just, you have to water your grass consistently, because if you have to have a critique, make sure you have a whole bunch of positives before you say that, what you're about to say, because you're about to tear some stuff up. So make sure the emotional tank is full before you do that.
That's good. Good advice.
All right, the next one, shutting down. That ain't gonna work. I'm so discouraged with silent treatment. Now, I understand some days I want to be silent, okay? I feel you on the whole silent treatment, but that's not maturity.
It isn't.
And you know, she has her silent treatment stuff too.
I do.
She'll just drive off, and she won't even say bye. Just gone. I know when she's mad, she just drive off. She don't say nothing to me.
I don't say goodbye.
She don't say goodbye, and she's real short, and she's gone. Now, I never drive off because I made a rule myself. I said, if I drive off, I ain't come back.
So, you said that?
Yes, I did. I said, because.
Oh, so I'm going to have to chase him down if he drives off?
I said, I don't want to start that.
Right.
Because
that's good.
If you start driving off, you're setting a precedent that this is who you, it's a runner spirit. Okay. And I said, I'm not going to run. I'm going to sit in it. And so because I want to leave too now. Let me tell you something. I want to leave too. Now, did I put you on silent?
Yeah, but that's your alarm.
Anyway.
Remember at the very beginning, y'all, the very beginning.
You going to go back? Are you going to do that?
We're going to go way
Are you really going to do that? Are you going to really do that right now?
You should be like, Charmaine, get your phone off. Your phone beeping. It always be ringing during it. Okay.
Now, who did your phone?
You.
Trying to cover you. And what did you just do to me? You uncovered me in front of all these people.
You uncovered me for weeks.
We ain't going back, Charmaine. Old things passed away, behold, all things are new. I can't believe you're going to do that.
Y'all remember when he was getting on me every week. See? Yeah, phone cutting on again.
Years ago. Anybody out there, right? Anybody out there, you saw people bring up stuff years ago?
Y'all,
come on.
If y'all been an OG, just say, Charmaine, I feel you. Just say,
no. Don't say that. Don't say that. Say, let that go. Say, let it go. No. Say, let it go.
I let it go.
No, you ain't let it go. You just brought it up. You just threw it in my face.
It just reminded me.
Just threw it in my face.
You just reminded me that you were getting on me every week about it. Now your phone. You know, that was just maybe just a reminder to me that you are human.
Oh, we know.
Mistakes.
Oh, that's a fact. We know. I mean, all right.
Okay.
The next one. Let's land a plane, Charmaine.
Yes, let's land a plane.
Universal statements. You never. You always. I hate.
What is it?
She knows. As soon as she said, I know. Never. Always. You do it every
But you know
time.
what? I think I agree with using universal words. But I believe that sometimes people could use this as a way to detour from the subject.
Mm.
So don't use it as a way to, get off subject. Let's stay on subject so that way we can solve whatever the issue is. You don't like the way I worded something, I can correct that. But let's not now have a conversation about a word versus what we were talking about.
Words are powerful though.
But let's not have a whole conversation about it if we were on one thing. It's just like, to me, when you are trying to deal with an issue and then they bring up some other issue. Like, let's not deal with that issue right now. Right.
Invalidate my feelings. Listen, my feelings are real.
Yeah, everybody's feelings are real.
And, you saying brush my feelings off. You're too emotional.
Right. Why you gotta cry about everything?
Sometimes people want people to cry, though. Lastly, but everything you said, you know what? I really love you, but
it's erased. Pastor Nia said that.
You know what? You're sexy, but
oh,
I want to.
But you got a big forehead.
I want to have sex, but
dang.
I want to take you out, but
wow.
I think the kids are mine, but who does that?
But they do look like the mailman.
Wow.
But
that's a lot.
I hate that but.
If you make a mistake, I'm sorry.
Period.
Don't say I'm sorry, but you made me. Mm-hmm. No, just own it. Well, that's our time for tonight.
If you all have any communication advice that you would like to leave for other couples to be able to marinate on or educate, please leave them in the comment section. If you are not following Jomo and Charmaine, please do so on YouTube. And we are on Instagram, you guys, Jomo and Charmaine _. Jomo and Charmaine _.
I saw that video too. It's pretty cool with us in the car on date night.
Yeah.
Riding around. I was singing, y'all. Check the video out. I was singing. It sounded like the OJs.
That's on my Instagram at Charmaine _cousins.
Mm-hmm. All right. We holler at you. God bless you.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Be blessed, y'all.